Thank you so much for that, Pete. You know, we're coming towards the end of Wildfire Preparedness Month, and we're heading into the Central Pacific hurricane season, which begins this Saturday. Island Life Live is doing its part to make sure you are prepared. Now, during our Hurricane Preparedness Week, which is now, we've got the experts lined up this week for you with what you need to have on hand before disaster hits. Now, starting with the Honolulu Fire Department. So I didn't realize that May was Wildfire Awareness Month. Did this just happen?
Yes, so the mayor just earlier this month signed a proclamation that the month of May would be the Wildfire Proclamation Month.
You know, and that makes sense to me because June is kind of the start of our dry season here in the islands, right? And so what can families do to prepare their homes and their neighborhoods, you know, just keeping it safe or in event of a wildfire?
The number one thing is to prepare against embers. So find embers, so those can be carried by wind. Right, so it doesn't have to be near the fire, but if the wind can carry it, like as far as a mile out, we want to try and make sure our home is prepared. So first of all, we start from the top and we go to the roofs, make sure it's fire resistive. Our gutters, we want to make sure that we clean it up. Take out all the leaves, especially in fall when all the leaves start to drop, or after very windy days.
Windy days, right? Right.
If we have wooden decks, we want to make sure that there's no collection of any rubbish or easily ignitable materials. Also materials. If you have cuts in them, you don't want the leaves or rubbish to gather in there. Anything that can ignite easily, we want to take care of.
And then there are also paint for the homes, right? That are also fire resistant as well.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. So painting your home, maybe if you haven't painted your home in a long time, now would be a good time to do it. Yeah,
so make sure you look at what's in the paint. So if it is fire resistant, that's actually a good thing that to look into.
That is awesome. You know, so but a wildfire hits and you know, you're in a predicament right now. What can families do to prepare? Would an evacuation plan be a smart thing to do, or how can they you know, maybe go through a family drill to prepare themselves for events like this?
Yeah, that's very, very important, and a good point to bring up is, you know, practice your evacuation drills. We actually go out and we go to schools or kupunas and we tell them practice at least twice a year. One can be live and one can be just talking about it. And then change it up. One during the day, one during the night, because things are very different during the night. Got you.
Now let's go ahead and change it up. Thank you so much for the scoops on wildfires. But now we're preparing our families for hurricane preparedness, only because the season begins June 1st, goes all the way through November. How can Honolulu Fire Department help us prepare for this?
So we do a lot of social media. We do news interviews, and we try to get the message out through requests for fire preparedness. We go to fairs, and when we meet people, we just tell them all the information that's coming up, what to prepare for. Right,
absolutely. And then one final thing, and that is coming up. What's it like for a first responder when in the midst of a hurricane? Have you ever had those kinds of experiences where you had to help people during very high storms? And if you can kind of give me an idea of what that feels like for a family.
So we haven't been hit by a hurricane in a while. It is going to happen. I think I saw on the internet or social media that they do predict a higher rate of hurricanes this season.
It's been a while, that's why.
It has been, yes. So we want to prepare, start off with a plan. The next step would be maybe 14 days of food and water. That's 1 gallon per person per day. So that's a lot of water.
That is a lot of water.
Yeah, so we need that because that's a key for our survival. A go bag. A go bag is very important. All your important documents, something that's very important to you that you cherish, that's not easily replaceable. That's also a step to take. But I think the number one thing is to get prepared. So if you go to fire.honolulu.gov, go to our website, and we have all of these incredible information that we want everybody to look into and make sure you are prepared for any disaster that comes up.
I love that, fire.honolulu.gov.
Yes.
And there you can learn to shelter in place, or to, when you have to evacuate, how to prepare your family to get out.
Yes.
And be safe.
Yes.
I love that. Thank you very much, Thomas. We appreciate you for being here and for Honolulu Fire Department to help us kick off this week of emergency preparedness right here at Island Life Live. Sister, this is your week, yeah?
I know. I'm so. Do you see how excited I am?
Yes.
You know, I was thinking, because in my car I have a bug out bag.
Yes,
You ever show
everybody
my bug out
should
bag?
have. Yep.
And inside my bug out bag, I have like this little. I can't even go back to like first grade. I can show and tell what I have because I want to show off my little tin. It's like the size of an Altoid can. It's a stove.
Oh, sister, you need all of that
Yeah.
stuff. That's very important.
I want to bring props so people know what I
You
carry.
got to bring your props. You got to bring your props.
No,
and you know,
for
we
real.
are so lucky to have experts that are going to be joining us all week long, as well as the experts right here on our show.
I got you.
You know, I also learned the importance of making a defensible space out of 30 feet from any structure. This is, again, part of the wildfires, yeah? You keep your grass short, no longer than 4 inches long, shrubbery no taller than 18 inches high as a fire break. And look into those plants, and Board of Water Supply came on and talked about it, xeriscaping, which includes plants like the puakenikeni, plumeria, crown flower, stephanotis. These are plants that are fire-resistive plants or rock gardens.
I never know about that.
Yeah, that kind of stuff is important.
Good to be educated, yeah, Sissy?
Yes. Now, stay with Island Life Live during our Hurricane Preparedness Week as we get you geared up for hurricane season. Learn what you need to know before disaster hits.
And coming up later in the show, we'll have our in-house expert, Chief Meteorologist Pete Gajano, with a breakdown of the storms we could expect this year.